The dragon's most subtle weapon. Manipulation is the dragon's silken chain, the tactic it uses, not by brute force, but by twisting perception, language, and memory. It does not storm the gates, it convinces the target to open them. A dragon skilled in manipulation rarely needs to burn or bite. It rewrites reality. It whispers until resistance seems irrational, until the slayer questions their own instincts, allies, even their mission. Where other tactics dominate through fear or violence, manipulation thrives on confusion. It cloaks lies in partial truth. It constructs false narratives. It gaslights the soul until the dragon slayer doubts their own clarity, misreads omens, and mistakes illusions for insight. The manipulated forget what is real. They may obey willingly, convinced the cage is shelter and the leash is love. Tactics of the manipulative dragon, gaslighting the spirit. Through repeated distortion of truth, the dragon undermines memory and intuition. It tells the slayer, "You imagined that," or "You're overreacting," until doubt becomes habit. Divide and conquer. By sowing mistrust, the dragon isolates the slayer from allies. It spreads lies, forges false messages, alters perceptions, turning brother against sister, mentor against student. Weaponized compassion. Manipulation often wears the face of care. The dragon may appear helpful, even loving, masking control as kindness. The slayer feels guilt for resisting. Illusion of choice. The dragon presents false binaries, both paths shaped by the dragon's will. The slayer believes they are free while remaining within a trap. Inversion of values. Right becomes wrong. Sacred becomes profane. Freedom becomes selfishness. The dragon inverts reality until betrayal feels virtuous and obedience seems wise. Mirror magic. The dragon reflects the slayer's own fears, mistakes, or desires back at them. It makes them believe the enemy is within. Thus, the slayer battles their own shadow while the dragon remains untouched. The cost of being deceived. Manipulation leaves no scars, only soul confusion. A manipulated slayer may abandon the quest, betray a cause, or fall into quiet despair, never knowing they were turned. The dragon doesn't need a corpse, it wants a puppet who believes they act of their own free will. Louis Rowan. The slayer's inner shield. Against such cunning sorcery, raw strength is useless. The defense must be subtle, spiritual, rooted not in attack but in clear perception. This is the power of Louis, the Drag-Ogham of the inner shield. Louis does not fight. It deflects, it protects not the body but the spirit, holding intact the slayer's truth, instincts, and intuitive clarity. Rowan trees were planted at thresholds to repel enchantment. So too does Louis stand at the doorway of the soul, barring the dragon's lies from entry. How Louis shields against manipulation. Second sight. Louis strengthens the slayer's inner, knowing the sense that sees through distortion. It is not external vision, but inner discernment, trained to detect what feels off even when it looks right. Warding field. Louis surrounds the slayer's mind and heart with subtle protection. Like a psychic charm, it keeps manipulation from embedding. The slayer hears the dragon's words, but they slide off like rain on wax. Memory anchor. Manipulation often works by rewriting memory. Louis serves as a spiritual anchor, holding firm the true timeline, the real events, the original purpose. Symbolic resistance. Just as rowan branches were carried for protection, the spirit of Louis becomes a living symbol of refusal. The dragon's illusions recoil from its presence. Intuitive alerts. Louis sharpens the slayer's responsiveness to signs, omens, and subtle energies. When the dragon cloaks itself, Louis reveals the shimmer in its disguise. The lie is felt before it is spoken. Energetic immunity. More than mental clarity, Louise cultivates resonant defense. It tunes the Slayer's spirit to frequencies that reject deception. Manipulative energies cannot root in a field held by Louise. Louise is not a weapon, it is a sanctuary. In a world of smoke and mirrors, Louise is the still mirror that reflects what is. When the dragon's tongue twists truth, Louise listens deeper. When the dragon mimics care, Louise senses the hollowness beneath. It does not attack the dragon, it reveals it. And in the presence of truth, the dragon's illusion begins to crack. Conclusion: manipulation is not just a tactic, it is a corruption of vision, a theft of clarity, a hijacking of will. Against such sorcery, Louise is indispensable. The Slayer who carries Louise walks not with eyes wide open, but with soul unclouded. While others fall to beautiful lies and mirrored mazes, the one shielded by Louise moves with quiet certainty. They are not easily turned, not easily tricked, and never lost to the dragon's web. Louise is the safeguard of sovereignty, and through it, the Slayer remains whole.